So, good evening, everybody. It's Shelley Johns here from Gympie. I'm a Herbalife member with the company, and I'm here with Ross.
Good evening.
Cool. And we've got some pretty awesome people on the call tonight. We've got Lindy from Canberra. We've got Amanda James from Gympie, and Michael and Cara from Gympie as well. Hi, guys. Cool. So tonight's call is all about DMOs, which is daily methods of operations, which is things that will help you generate clients and members. So, but first we're going to kick off with some good news. So think about any personal development you've done, any flyers and things that you might have done, or if you've got some calls or a new client, that would be great, even though we're going to be showing on the DMOs. Any good news would be great. So let's start off with that, including the event on Saturday. If you've got something you'd like to share from the event on Saturday, something you got out of it, that can be part of your good news too. So who would like to go first? Cool, go Lindy.
Might as well before I get interrupted. Hi everyone, I'm Lindy from Canberra. We are really fortunate to have Stefan Graziani in Sydney. Really nice bloke, down to earth, very humble, very relatable, a really, really nice bloke to listen to. But I suppose a few of the things that he really harped on was, particularly if you're not having perhaps a good week or a good month or whatever, it's relative and it's nothing in the whole scheme of 20, 30 years. So just being patient with your business, constantly being clear on what your commitment is and what you can achieve to get to where you want to go to, always having a plan and working on your emotional strengths as well, your mindset of course, and making sure you've got structure in your life and your business, because you've got to have a really good balance between everything. And he really harped on having an accountability coach. And so doing that on a weekly basis rather than at the end of 90 days. He said it's something you should do weekly. Could go on and on because he was really good. But for myself, I've got the last 3 clients. 2 of them were from carers who are working with the boys. And then one of the boys' OT, occupational therapist, came through. And he used to be a cyclist, but he said he'd put on a bit of weight since he was being sedentary. So he was really happy just taking the Formula 1 and the multivitamins. So that was really nice. And he's coming back in again tomorrow. So then he'll get some more products tomorrow. And I suppose out of anything, the action putting into from the weekend is just putting myself on what he called a repeat cycle, just doing the same thing over and over and over until it becomes second nature, so you don't think about it. The moment you don't think about it, then start something else. And really just keeping your focus and working on personal development. He was very big on personal development. So, yeah.
Awesome, Lindy. So Stefan Graziani is a founder circle. So Michael, you'll be happy to say that. So
number 2 in the world.
Yeah, so he trained me when I was about 20, in my 20s, 25-ish. I think I've got a photo with him when I was that age. And then I got another one from when he came to Australia last year or the year before. Yeah, very humble, a cyclist from Italy. So yeah, it's got an amazing business worldwide and quite a big business here in Australia as well. So yes, a great person to get some training from.
He was very interactive with everybody too. Like he did speak to us and give us really good value, but he engaged with everybody that was sitting around too. He didn't put himself on a pillar. He was just very down to earth.
Sure. And that's sort of what you want, don't you? You want your speakers to be like that. So obviously the people in close proximity to you see what you're doing and are more likely to get on the products because you can give them samples and they're around you more, so it's easier to affect them that way, which is great. So that's a good one to be continually thinking about who's around me, watching and seeing what I'm doing. And then the second part is obviously you do other DMOs, which are bringing in people you don't know. So what are your favourite DMOs that you're trying to fit in around the boys?
Me, flyers. I like doing the flyers, and then that's getting my exercise there. And wearing the button and talking to people, and I've always got my water bottle. I've got signage on my car. Trying to think now. Sometimes you just do it without really thinking. It just becomes second nature. So when you have to think about it. Geez, I should know.
Well, and it's interesting that you're talking about accountability partners, because obviously I gave you were messaging me today, but I just picked up the phone and called you.
Yeah.
And do you think that was helpful, the conversation we had?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's just really finding what works for you. Sometimes it's really hard. I mean, I think we were talking about Ross many months ago, and just I tend to do too much. So trying to rope it in and just finding the 3 or 4 things that works. And sometimes it takes a while to find out what that is. So for me, like I said before, I've got disabled kids. So the last thing I want to do is be around or support other people's special needs. But it keeps coming back. So it must be.
Yeah,
and go with what's natural, and it's natural to me. So
I think it's something you can relate to as well. It's relatable, and it's part of what you're already doing. So I think it's a very powerful way to help other people. So I think the things that we talked about was, I love that you have these huge goals. They're fantastic. It's great to have the big goal, but making sure you're consistently hitting those smaller targets first, and then building on top of it each month. So consistently hitting that target, then just grow that little bit more, because your team will follow that, basically.
And you're right. And I think the hardest part is not comparing yourself to other people. You try not to, but you do tend to. And so it's just really, I know everyone says put the blinkers on, but sometimes that's very hard when, but everybody's different and circumstances are different. And so that's why you have to keep reining yourself in, going, it'll happen for me when it's right. So
you have to stay on your own page.
Yeah.
You have to stay in your own chapter, or whatever you want to call it, however you want to figure it out.
In your own lane.
You have, you have to, because everybody else has a different circumstances why they're advancing you. You don't know what's going on in the background, why they may advance, because they may be putting personal development into them so heavily that they're actually jumping forward. They may be doing other things. They may have they've lived a different lifestyle where their previous businesses has given them different avenues of activities. You've just got to stay on your own page. You have to stop comparing yourself to the other people.
Yeah. It's very hard to do, but it's very true. You really do.
You can strive to be like them or better than them, but you can't get deflated when you're not achieving it, because you don't know unless you consistently know what they're doing. Yeah. And I can tell you the ones that are probably further up are doing activities way beyond what we're doing. And that's what you've got to understand too. And if you haven't got the time, the ability, or at the moment, that to do that, you've just got to just do your page at your pace. Just move through it.
So thank you, Lindy, for sharing. So just in case Josh needs you've got most of your stuff done. So thank you.
I can hear him in the background. He's a bit naughty today. So he took a major tanty because the carers were off today. So 5 hours of a tanty is a bit ridiculous.
Well, you're doing an amazing job, and we're very proud of you.
Thank you.
So, Cara and Michael, so your good news for the week, what you got out of the weekend, what would you like to share?
Good news for the week is we got a new client yesterday.
Oh, excellent.
Just starting on a shaken multivitamin, but it's our elderly neighbour, and she's had a trial pack over the last week, and her sugars have actually leveled out a little bit.
So tell us what she was doing before her wife.
Nothing. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we would go and see her, and she hadn't had anything to eat or drink for the day.
She'd had a cup of coffee for the day. That's it.
Sometimes. So she obviously finances will be a bit of an issue because she's a pensioner. But yeah, she's having a shake and knows if she can't be bothered, because she straight up says that it's laziness. So it's not about weight loss or anything for her. It's literally about giving her some nutrition in her life that she doesn't have to do any work for. Yep. So she even made comment to us yesterday and said that instead of buying a 1 litre of milk, which is what she usually gets, she got 2 litres just so that she could have her shakes. So that's pretty awesome for her. STS on Saturday, probably the biggest thing that I got out of it was obviously we had the President's Showcase, was Christy Walsh's response to one of the questions that was just if you were starting out now, what would you go and do? And her biggest thing was to get customers quick. So 20 or 30 customers really quickly builds a sustainable business for you to continue on with. And it's all about ripping off the Band-Aid. The less time in between customers, the more confidence that you've got. So, about you?
Me, it was probably, I forget who it was said, but our greatest strength could be our team's greatest weakness. And I sort of hadn't thought about that until we were at home. And I went, well, that does make sense, because Kara's exceptionally good at planning and organising. And that just, we kind of take that for granted. So that's just something that I hadn't thought about. Probably the other thing was, I think it was said that the bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. And I mean, that's always been something. If someone's come and they've got multitudes of issues, I sort of balk at it, because I just don't know where to start. I had never thought about it like that, which just put me in a different head frame as to when I'm talking to people, how I can just get started on it.
I think it's a great quote and a great way of approaching. It's bigger the problem, bigger the paycheck. And Mark Hughes would always say that. And he goes, and man, he says, you wouldn't believe the problems I have. And he said, and you know what? You wouldn't believe the paycheck I get. So that's what he'd always say. So he said, you should see my check. So yeah, thinking of it that way, because we're going to always come across lots and lots of problems. You know, a lot of it's going to be personality problems. It's going to be not being able to afford thing problems. Yeah, all sorts of things come up. So the more skilled you are at handling those problems and solving them, helping and showing people how to solve them themselves too, the more value you are, the more you're worth. So the more you'll get paid. So that's kind of a pretty cool way to think about it, which is great. So well done on getting your world team recognition on stage.
Thank you.
We might get that microphone into your hands eventually.
Eventually.
And I think
I tried, Shelley.
Yeah, no, it wasn't happening.
Well, you had to have to share your story, because you were the proactive world team users are the only ones on stage.
and I kind of already prepped myself for that may happen.
So that's really cool. So we'll come back to some DMOs in a second. So James and Amanda. So I know what's any good news that you would like to share, other than lovely box of products behind you that's arrived. It's like Christmas early.
Yeah, we'll be into that later. Look, we qualified for supervisor, so that's our good news. We can start to look at climbing further through the marketing plan, beyond supervisor, and getting the awesome discount on our products.
Yes.
Yeah.
And well done for getting your recognition too. It's not easy getting handed the microphone, so I think you did really well. And I thought it was so cute, the photo I got where Amanda was cute, you lovingly, and you were talking. It was just so cute. It's the cutest photo ever. I reckon I'm going to have a whole collection of photos of everyone by the time.
Yeah, but supervisor just doesn't give you the discount. It gives you the extra training that you wouldn't normally get.
Yeah, well, that's right.
You get that. You opens you up to the ability now to the holidays and everything else that comes with it starts to get open once supervisor is achieved, which is fantastic. So yeah, and now gets you into areas of training that you may have missed out on, just those little snippets of bits and pieces that wasn't spoken about in detail. And because sometimes the supervisor skills can be more direct than what it would be in a normal training section.
Yeah.
So that's good. So what did you get out of the training on the weekend?
All right. Well, look, our first up, like when we got there, Christy Walsh held the elevator for us to go up when we were like half the car park away, and so that's good, saying that they're pretty down to earth, willing to help wait on people and help them out and stuff like that. But I mean, look, I've got a few things. Teach how to teach is one of the things that was talked about a bit. And I mean, with our customers, if we had signed them up as a member earlier and possibly taught them a bit more about it, they might have stuck around a bit. If you have a chance to do something, just go ahead and do it, even if it scares the shit out of you. It's all about personal growth. Like, I mean, you're not going to get past your fears unless you try to conquer them to start with, are you?
Well said. I like
Yeah.
that.
Help clients through referrals and marketing plan. So once again, activate them as a member to get them that discount and help them to be able to go through their referrals to start building that business up, I guess.
Yeah.
The DMOs sort of thing is like the roadshow thing, which is mostly just talking to people in general rather than doing flyers for any length of time. Try and put out a few hundred flyers, you'd probably get more of a response just by straight up talking to someone on the street or in a shop or any of those sorts of situations. It puts them in a position where they have no choice but to give you a response if you just talk to them.
Yeah.
Rather than just seeing a flyer in the mailbox and throwing it in the bin. They don't have to give you a response at all in that sense. So, yeah, it's something that I'm going to look at implementing a little bit more often. Yeah.
Oh. And what about you, Amanda? What did you get out of Saturday?
Yeah, I think I liked Christy's story, how she said, you know, she was really down and she needed to do something and she'd do anything. And, you know, she got offered to do waitressing and she said no, and then she went and did it anyway. So, yeah, and she stayed back and, yeah, really just got to go. I thought, well, that's quite, quite interesting. Quite, I don't know. Yeah, like down to earth sort of.
Yeah, I like the fact that she actually got a bit emotional on stage with.
Yeah, it was quite deep to the heart.
Feeling the fact that she's helped so many people. I mean, they're in a very fortunate position where they've made quite a substantial amount of money by doing it too. So, I mean, I guess it'd be a feeling of being so lucky to have a lifestyle that they're able to live by helping people to get healthy. So, you know, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, well, it was a pretty awesome event. I think they did a very good job of keeping it running along well, with a few fun things in there, results, personal development. Yeah, I think there was some great things in it. So I really enjoyed it. I think it was a great one to invite people to, especially because they had that section where, if you think about it, 12 p.m.-ish through till 4, where a guest could come along and get exposed to that too. So I know that, you know, obviously we can plan for February's STS coming up. So did you have some good news to share?
Like what?
I don't know. Like what?
What good news have you got?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I do know. But,
oh, you do know?
Are you just going to talk?
You can give your good news. Go on.
Cool. So obviously it was, well then, I'm probably going to steal your thunder anyway.
That's all right. You go for it.
So it was like 41, 42. Did it get to 42? I don't know. It was hot. Anyway, it was a hot day. So you got up early. So thank you very much for getting up early and going out and doing flyers an hour state when having to do double the amount. So 7 kilometres of walking. 7 kilometres of walking with hills so that I could be at home with the girls and do that. So thank you. We did the goal setting ones. Then we'd already prepped the girls. We're going into town to do walk and talks. And so we went from Gympie Realty Rentals all the way to Casabella, and a little bit on the other side, did some posters and to get ready for Christmas on Mary, which is on Wednesday night. And yeah, so we did how many walk and talks? So you want to rip the Band-Aid off and go and do walk and talks. The first few were difficult. The last 2 were easy. 52 walk and talks we did this today. That's 52 people we spoke to. So that's what's involved to go. So, and I find it really easy to do a walk and talk when I've got something to invite someone to start with. It's the easiest way to actually build the confidence back up. So why at the moment, while we've got the goal setting workshop on, it's a perfect way to get yourself your confidence up. So right now I could go and do a walk and talk tomorrow, not on goal setting, because we bounce one for the other or whatever on the conversation.
So I could go out and do walk and talks tomorrow because the confidence is up that we did that many today on goal setting that I could just flip the conversation onto, hey, we're doing a HOM. Do you
But
want to
in
come
saying that, you took a little while to warm up.
Absolutely.
So I did from Gympie Realty through to the lolly shop.
Yep.
And then you were kind of ready to go.
And I was ready to go. And
Yeah.
that's what happens. So if you want to learn how to do walk and talks, as before we get up to the goal setting, you may need to pick a couple of hours or an afternoon or a morning or whatever and come and do them with us and just fumble your way through it until you feel that was easy. And then I honestly got to the end. You don't care. You don't care what the reaction is. And the objective of it was to and then obviously there were some places I went into, you were going at the front, well, where'd you go? Then I'd come out nearly 10 minutes later because I had a full-on conversation with the individual and just opens up conversation.
I didn't do that. Mackenzie was like, why is he taking so long? I said, because he's engaged in conversation. It's a good thing.
Yep, because that's what it's about.
This is a good thing.
So Ross, can I ask you, when you do your walk and talks, do you just, when you're going to shops or wherever it might be, do you just use, form, or do you, you just go in there and just sort of?
I just walked straight in with the flyer and said, hey, we're holding a goal setting workshop. Would you know anybody that'd be interested? Can we put them on your counter? It might not be for you.
If you didn't have a workshop or anything on, and you're just trying to.
Yeah, it's still the same thing.
Still the same principle. You could do the same thing. I'm just wonder if we can leave some flyers here. Or you could take, and I don't have one, the Herbalife Business Opportunity brochure with this. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm just looking for some people that want to change their life.
Okay.
Could be a way to start the conversation.
So there was a few businesses we didn't do because they were busy. They had clients.
There was a few.
Stuff,
yeah.
So we just bypassed.
Yeah. So if they're busy and it's obvious you're going to stand around like a stunned mullet, we would normally walk past that, depending on the shop, depending on the location, and you know what I mean.
Some got into conversation, some didn't. It's okay. And look, some of them was re-engaging from previous conversations.
Cool. Yep.
Hey, I know Michelle at the furniture shop. I've had a few conversations about her coming to help her with the results.
Yep.
And then we basically, it was getting hot, so I think it took us almost 2 hours because the girls got lollies at the Melt Me, and which they're always so proactive there too. But yeah, we had a pretty good time, and then walked back down. Girls got a drink, and then we went into the centre. And as we're getting into the car at Coles, I did the lucky spot. So we got a call from the lucky spot this afternoon when I was swimming. Second one, it's the actual the one that works best so far is the one that says receive a free body scan, wellness profile, whatever it is, and nutrition samples. That's the one I'm getting the most calls off. So I'll book her in for Monday morning at 9 a.m.
Yep.
Name's Sue. And so I just basically went through what we do and where we are. And so it's definitely getting good results. So I think,
Can we go back on to the walk and talk?
Yeah, sorry, please do.
So Lindy, to answer another question to you, the best way with walk and talks, because I know I used to be able to do lots and then I obviously lost my nerve and whatever. The best walk and talk is to not actually directly invite the person you're talking to. I'm looking for, do you know anybody? It might not be for you.
Who do you know?
Who do you know? It may not, I just go straight up. It may not be for you. It might be for your friends, your family. Do you know anybody? And I'm forcing them to go, what about me?
Okay.
I'm forcing them to say, what about me? Then going, well, why aren't you only inviting me? Because if I say, would you like, they go, no, I don't want to. But if I go, do you know anybody that's interested in some goal setting? Do you know anybody that's looking to make some extra money? Whatever it may be that suddenly starts to flow out of your mouth, they're going, well, I'm missing out. So then they want to go, well, I'd love to do that. Then if they say that, it's very easy then to have another conversation.
Yeah. I think you need to be going in with what flyer am I using? What set of words am I going to say? Like you think you need to be prepared, because I know James is listening intently because I know this is what you want to go and do. So and it's not always easy, because sometimes I think if you feel like crap, then don't do it.
If you're arguing with your partner, don't do it.
So is James, you're the truck driver, is that correct?
I used to be. I'm not working other than what we're doing on the Herbalife.
No, the only reason I asked, because before I left Sydney to come down here, there was I went into the petrol station to fill up, and I thought, okay, I'll be brave. So I had my business card and my flyer, and I went to hand it to the fellow who looked like he was from Northern Asia or somewhere, I think. And he said no, but the bloke next to him had 2 Red Bulls.
Yeah,
So
right.
I said, you must be doing a long trip. And he goes, yeah, that's my rig outside. And so he said, yeah, I can't find anything else. And so I actually ended up giving him the flyer. I didn't want to swap names,
Yeah,
or anything, but
well-
I can pretty well guarantee I'll get a call this week. He was really keen. And
Yeah,
you
well,
guys have got set up with
truck
fridges
drivers
and all
are
sorts
looking
of stuff.
for energy, like a natural energy that's not going to put a pile of weight on them, like simply for the fact that they are sitting down for 12 hours a day driving down the highway.
Yeah.
And like I know from experience, it's tough to keep awake and alert for that long.
That's what he said. He was driving long haul down to Melbourne or something. And
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. He'd be in the truck for a couple of days and sleeping in the back of a night time in his brakes and stuff like that. Like, you know, it's, yeah, I mean, I know that the NRGs will actually pick me up if I'm dead tired and I'm ready for a nap. Like, if I have one within half hour, 3/4 hour.
And do you have, and just so I know for me, so you have deadlines that you've got to meet or not necessarily?
Look, I didn't do long haul and that, but I know that some drivers are on a timeline that they're expected in on at a certain time on a certain day. You know, like they've got to be realistic, but because shit does happen, you know, you get breakdowns and stuff like that. You know, you can't help an accident on the highway.
So Michael, did you just get a truck driver on the product? Did you just get someone that was a truckie?
We're in the process of meeting with him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of timing. We haven't had a chance to catch up yet.
So he actually runs a company locally.
So yeah, they were supposed to meet him on Sunday, but they had issues with the truck. So, you know, instead of having Sunday off, he had to go in and work. But yeah, timing, will eventually catch up with him again.
Has anyone gone up to Corbett's up here? What's that, Jones Hill, just up the road here? There's a trucking thing just up here.
Yeah, I went in there a while back at one stage. Yeah, they weren't very receptive.
That's okay. So this month the goal is everyone has to get a truckie. That's it. Everyone can get a truckie.
So going back to your walk and talks, all it's really designed to do is create a conversation. You're going to get lots of no's. It's going to create a conversation. And if you change your headspace around to go, I'm looking to get no's, I'm not looking for yeses, it makes it easier when they start coming, you just tick them off. Oh, I got another one, I got another one, I got another one. Oh, I've got 20 no's today, great. Then when the yeses come, it's not when we all go in the other way, I've got to know, and you deflate yourself. So just don't care. That's the easiest way I find to do the walk and talk in the end, is I get to the point where I just don't care.
About the outcome.
Yeah, I don't care about the outcome. I do care about the person, but I don't care about the outcome. I just don't care. Just go to the next shop, start again, go to the next, because there's plenty of times you walk in the door and you'll get the vibe. You walk in the door and go, yep, I might as well just instantly shut this conversation down as quick as possible, because this person is just going to grab my fly and chuck it in the bin. And I can pick that up. You can tell the whole conversation just flattens down. Great, no worries, thanks a lot. Out. Don't drop your energy, just get out and go to the next shop.
So Wednesday night's a really good opportunity for us for the Christmas on Merry, the second week in a row they do, an opportunity to bump into people we know, get more exposure for what we're doing, go out and talk to people. So there's a few different techniques that work really well. So obviously there will be a display and a table set up and banners, so people are getting to see it all the time. It's visual.
You won't get Shelley to stand there.
No. Look, if it's not busy, I will. And I think, but there's, some people don't feel comfortable doing that. So if you want to stay and wait for people to come to you, it's not a problem. But the other thing would be is to have a reason. Are you trying to get people to enter into the competition? Are you trying to get people to come to goal setting? Are you trying to get brand new clients? Or you're thinking about what is it that I'm looking for on that night, and you pick your theme and you stick with that. So you have flyers that support that. But it also gives you an excellent opportunity to bump into people that you know and get them to know. So I'd be branded, either with a button or a shirt or something like that. So and still look Christmassy, and start collecting names and numbers and building up that relationship and rapport, because that's the more we do it. I know, Cara, you've always said that, the more we're out in all these community events, the more people get to know who we are, and it just keeps building as well. So I think
what you just said then, that's the biggest thing. You have to go with an intention. Like the goal setting flyer is easy. You go with one intention. That's the only intention. There is no other intention beyond that. It's just to try and invite someone to goal setting workshop. Kept saying to people, we just want to give value. Somebody said, oh, who's promoting? And I said, it's being supported by Herbalife, but we do not want to sell anything. Sponsored, sorry. We do not want to sell anything. Yes, we'll have some teas there for people to try, but it'll be up to the clientele whether they want to come and talk to us afterwards. I am not out to sell anything.
We're certainly not selling anything on the day, but yes, we would. Do we want to attract clients, members? Absolutely.
It's attraction marketing. It's trying to get someone to go, geez, these guys are a group of collective people are positive. They're giving us value. I think I'd like to go and talk to them. So that's the whole intent.
We did the cigarette shop next to where the luggage is closed down.
You did.
I did, sorry. And the girl in there, I gave her the goal setting thing, and she said, oh, did you do this last year? She goes, I couldn't go. I said, yeah, we did. She goes, oh, well, I'd definitely like to come this year. So awesome. And she put some on the counter, and Caitlin's going, oh, I like that lighter. Anyway.
Because it was a shark or something, she said. Yeah, the shark lit up or something.
You're not getting one of them. So anyway, so I think there's kind of some fun things to do. Also, the thing that I did forget about, but next year if we get time, where Casabella is, and there's that crossing, and some people dress the crossing up. I know Tony said we can do that at one stage. We're going to do it for Easter, so maybe we can work on that, having some sort of presence down that end of the street too. Anyway, it's a good opportunity for walk and talks. Linda, you need to move closer to us so you can come in and join us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I've got a really large Santa head. I think you might have seen the picture online. It's out this big, but I can still see really good. So when I go into businesses, I'm going with my Santa hat on.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. We'll do that then.
Ross, you look worried.
Yeah, so basically that's a really good opportunity for walking, talking this Wednesday night. So obviously you'll be running.
Our Santa is green. He's got really long, clawy fingers. He's a bit Grinch-like.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good news and a bit good DMOs. Right, let's extract how we got. Lindy's already shared how she got her last few clients from the carers and therapists and things like that. So obviously people you're around. So Cara, where did you get your last couple of clients from? How did they come about?
They're people that we know, neighbours, people at work. The last three, two of them are from Michael's work.
Cool.
They've been watching, seeing what we're doing. Our neighbour I particularly targeted because she's not eating and not healthy. And
so did you reach out to her?
Yeah. So she's been watching our journey anyway because we see her regularly and she knows that I've lost weight and all that sort of stuff. And I think initially she was thinking it's just weight loss, and her daughter's done Herbalife before. So, but there's been numerous conversations. But I actually gave her a trial pack to get her started so that she could have a bit of a see as to how easy it was and those sorts of things, because I think that sort of can be scary for some people.
Especially older people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been on our agenda for a little while. So yeah, we finally got her having some product and feeling good for it. She was in a way better frame of mind and physically better on Sunday when we saw her than when we saw her last Monday. So
I mean, you're probably going to add years to her life.
Yeah.
Quality life and longer life.
And I didn't give her a choice in the matter with the trial pack. I just told her that it was a Christmas present and that I needed her to at least try it for a few days. If it didn't do anything for her, then that's fine. If it did, then we could talk about product. So, and she was fine with that. She committed to it for me for the few days, so that was good.
Oh, so obviously there's two ways. There's you reaching out to someone because you can see they're in pain or there's something going on, and you take that next step. But with, you know, that like you've got to take it that someone might reject that help as well.
Yeah.
It does happen, as we know. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But then you've got people that are watching and then that are ready to take that step. So just remember, keep working on your results, and even if it feels like nothing's happening or, you know, you haven't got anyone yet, they are watching. And then just keep, I think those same things, each week you're getting a result. saying, hey, this is my brand new result. I've added a few more centimeters, or I've noticed this, or you've got to, so for Linda, you would be looking for some outfits, old clothing that you can show how baggy it is or something like that, or you found a new before photo. All those sort of new type of package stories are really good. Because it continually shows results. So remember, there's a whole bunch of results about to come out this week because I've got our challenge, plus I've saved all the results from the Queensland challenge. So this week's going to be all about results. So you look all the way up to Christmas. You let everyone overeat over Christmas, and then they're going to be ready to come to you. And then our next challenge will start in January, and then we'll just keep stepping through. So yes.
So what Cara just said with her intention to look after the neighbour is what you have to find in yourself. Even though you may look silly at times to other people, if your intention is to care for the individual, that is going to get you better results long term than anything else.
And they all have that. You all have that. You have that naturally.
So when I look at somebody that just buys a shake, doesn't buy a multivitamin, I know they're not getting a result. Even though they may think that I'm trying to sell them a multivitamin, I'm not. I want them to get the best result.
Well, we believe in cellular nutrition. We should be
correct. We should
super
be
strong.
So when I look at things and go, why did they only buy a shake? Why didn't they buy a multivitamin? My brain goes, they're not going to get a result. What can I do to help them understand they've got to get a better result? That's all my intention ever is what can I help that person get the best possible result? And then when you're looking at like your neighbor and you have that intention, all I do is want to care about that person. It doesn't become a sale, and it does obviously because that's what you're doing, you're selling a product, I get that, but it becomes that intention to care for the individual. That has to come through in your thought process, even though at times it may look like, yeah, we're selling, we're trying to get volume and doing this and doing that, whatever. There's an intention behind that's more greater than that. It's looking after the individual.
And I think, Ross, that's what's happening for us at the moment. Like we're picking up little bits and pieces here, there and everywhere. Yep. And it's simply because we're saying to people, you too could be feeling like we do. It's your choice as to whether you come on. Yep. So we've got 4 people at the moment that we're talking with fairly regularly. And one of our members has got a person that she's looking like having coming on in the Christmas New Year period.
Yep.
And
2 of our members.
2, sorry.
My mother has been talking to someone. It's not even so much about selling. It's, oh, you've got that going on. Well, this is what's helped me.
Yeah. It's that personal experience.
Yep.
And yeah, so.
And when you do it from that point of view, it just makes it so much easier because I didn't sell anything. It's not about selling. It's more, you get more upset. Well, what can I do to help that individual change their life? You know what I mean? And I know at times I can come across pretty tough and demanding and hard, but it's because I care so much that I want to see that person change their life.
Yeah.
I really do. I hate seeing someone in pain smacking their hands to brick wall when I can see there's a better way. There's a way around that. There's other options, and then helping them understand that. So yes, as much as I may look at the volume at times and I'll question, why did they do that? Why would they do that? And that says to me, that means nobody's shown them the reality of they should be on this, and this would give them a better result. And then trying to get into their headspace to go, what are you trying to achieve?
Yep.
It's more important than getting an extra volume on something or getting an extra sale on something.
That's a little bit of a conversation I had today. I did my mum's evaluation today. She hasn't had one in 2 months, and she's put on 1 kilo, and she's only lost 2 centimeters over the last 2 months. But when
did she put on muscle?
Yeah, when I actually did the body scan, she's put on 3 kilos of muscle, dropped 1 visceral fat, and her hydration is up, and
that's awesome. So she's gained muscle. She hasn't gained weight. So imagine if she was only weighing herself and she didn't even know that.
Yes.
This is not working and feel really bad. But you go, wow, you're actually gaining muscle.
She feels really good on the products, and she is only a 1 shake a day, so she's not going to get amazing results. But I think for her, it's more the other things that she doesn't have going on, and that's what she's talking to people about.
Can you send me your mummy's results then too, please?
Yeah,
I'd
sure.
like to include all different types. And yours too, Lindy, you need to send me all your results so I can include them too, yours and the boys.
I was going to say Ben's is doing really well. He's
Yeah,
awesome.
just send them, any of them, send them all, because I want all of them. I've obviously got ones that I'm doing, but any extras I'd like to include them. So I'll roll them out though. You'll see it coming out this week. There'll be certificates. I'll laminate them, and some will get posted off, obviously, like to Cheryl and Beck.
Yeah. So I just want to clarify. I understand we've got a business. I understand we've got to make money. I understand we've got to cover our profit. But if you look at it only from a selling point of view, you will struggle long term. And the amount of times that I've seen recently where, can't say what I want to say, but that's okay, where people don't do it from the right intentions. That's probably the best way to say it. We don't do anything from the intention. I think my headspace changed, in all honesty, when I listened to Mark Hughes, volume 1, 2, and 3, and it was just, this guy just wants to give value, 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 value. That's all I care about.
But sometimes people, they might have not got a customer and they just want to get a, they want to, and I get that. So, and that comes with time and maturity.
It does, and it does come with time. It does come with time and the maturity in the scenario that you care so much about someone else that, look, there is a point though. Obviously we go, hang on a minute, that individual's wasting my time. That individual's using me. There's a difference there. There's a total difference there. That when I first got involved with Shelley, she had people come into the lifestyle center that weren't on product, had no intention of buying product. And I said, why are you doing this? Think about it. They are just using you with no intention to do anything to improve their lives. So there is a balance. There is a point where you've got to go, hang on a minute, I'm being used here. I don't want to be used. I want to care and love and care for people, but I don't want to be used in the process.
Just knowing your value and being okay with that. I just moving on with time. So James and Amanda, your clients that you got, where did they come from? Like, how did it come into conversation? Did you reach out to them, or did they come to you?
Look, they've been for people that I've known, like that we've known.
So how did you get Lisa? Like, how did that come?
I was just talking to them about the fact that I'd gone on products and what sort of results that I'd been getting and how much my energy levels had picked up and stuff like that. And Lisa, working in a restaurant, she's run off her feet, doesn't really have time to eat properly and stuff like that. And it was just quick, good nutrition. And she.
So were they friends, or did you work with her? Like, how did you meet her?
They're friends. Like, yeah, I've known Lisa's partner for many years. Like, they've been together for ages. But Lisa's partner is one of my other friends, cousins. So, you know, I've known him for 20 odd years or whatever. You know, yeah.
Cool. So obviously people are going to be watching too, because you're continually sharing all these awesome results. Everybody is, which is great to see. So it's going to be very inspiring. So, and this is the time of the year it's coming to that. People are going to overeat over Christmas. We already know this, that most people gain a certain amount of weight over Christmas. It's just the way it is. They might party too hard on New Year's Eve and then need some, I know I put a lift off. I sent off to Beck Della, who I'll include her results as well. She's not weighing, she's measuring, but she's done fantastic with her centimetre loss. And so I sent her a little tabby, like a long tablet box with a protein bar in it so it didn't get squished in the mail, and a lift off. And so she's going to save that for when she really needs it. So that's good. But she's got a couple of referrals. So her mum's bought some skin. So I'm going to send her an info pack to WA, because her mum's from Western Australia, and her a couple of people she works with. And interestingly enough, the people that she works with, there's another girl there that does isogenics, and everyone doesn't, because this girl's trying to sell everyone, they're not interested in isogenics. And Beck, who's just been in there taking the products at her work at Pottery Barn in Fortitude Valley, has just been taking the products with no intention to sell, because she's, you know, even though she was signed up for the discount, she
just wanted that initially, didn't she?
Yeah. And interesting enough, all the time she'd been on Herbalife in the past, no one ever registered her as a member. She'd been on bits and pieces and didn't really know, like came back from WA and just wanted to get the products, and no one ever thought to register her. So anyway, that's okay. So she's got a few things in the pipeline and that, so that's a few referrals. And my objective is to try and get her to 35% before the end of the month. But we'll see if that happens. I think she's up to about 160 volume points. So yeah, I think that's really cool. The other one was Sharon from the hairdresser across from the centre, loves the lift off, and she's been giving it to some of the other hairdressers. So Kelly, who did my hair last time, and so she's given her a couple of sachets. So Kelly, Sharon came over to get some more, and then a couple of days ago, Kelly came in and said,
Sharon's away on holiday.
yeah, so she said, can I get a box of lift off for you? I went, sure. So that was really cool. And I was actually doing a presentation with someone about the business, so that was really great that happened at the same time, just to demonstrate how easy it was to get a client. But even if it's just one little product, and it's not the biggest profit margin or anything like that by any means, but it's one of those obvious results as well. So that's where our last couple of clients have come, and often it's been someone that's been on Herbalife before that just wants to get back on it. So there are ones out like that. And sure, I'll say, are you still in contact with your coach? I'll do the ethics thing, and if they're not, then that's okay. So I always ask the question. But there are a lot of people that know it's Herbalife and they just want to get on it. So that branding on Wednesday night at the Christmas, Marion Christmas, will be really important to let people know that, hey, Herbalife is still around, and guess what? You can get it from us. So
the other thing too is that I've noticed in probably the last couple of months with you is the fact that the amount of people that would have been Shelley's third or fourth, well, would have been actually third line or fourth line or fifth line that are slowly just dribbling back into the system because their up lines just didn't do it. You know, she stayed around and they've become first lines because they probably weren't being looked after, they weren't being cared for, or whatever the case may be. Like you said with Beck, she couldn't believe how much just value you gave her. And yes, you want her to get into the business and eventually become a supervisor and all that, absolutely, but at her pace.
Yeah.
At her pace, at whatever pace that is, and she's naturally just working the business. But the amount of people you've got come back recently.
Well, Cheryl's one of them. So Cheryl was my
she's another one.
Second line, and so her sponsors dropped out, and which is fine. And yeah, here she is 5 years later, come back. She's stayed registered, just dabbled here and there and that. So I had lots of life stuff happen and just lovely. And so here she is, started to kind of plug back in, and you're getting to know her better. Cheryl and her selfie stick. Yeah. I think Linda's going to have lots of fun sharing a room with Cheryl. And so she came to the STS, so she went to the summit, and obviously she's been watching what's happening, and she's getting great product results. And all of a sudden, we had this great conversation at the STS on Saturday about a success builder order, and maybe having a chat to her husband about that, the value of that, and then getting her to supervise as quickly as possible. So not only did she do a success builder order on Sunday, but it got her to qualified producer, which is really cool. You would have seen the post. So congratulations, Cheryl, when you watch the recording. We're very proud of you. And I know you're only like 900 volume points or so off supervisor, so it could definitely happen this month, and if it doesn't happen this month, I know it's going to happen in January.
And it's interesting you say that with all the these Monday night calls that you do, the importance of all the business aspect, because for me, I was a customer for 14 months without even realizing or being given information to know that I could actually sign on as a member. So that was new to me at the end. So these calls are so imperative for people to get a broad range of everything, because I had no idea. So, you know,
you've learned
if someone hadn't given that information to me, I wouldn't be sitting here. So
you think you've learned lots of things from being on the calls?
Absolutely. And some things it's refreshing.
Yeah.
Refreshing over what you already know, but some things are not. And things change and approaches and, you know, it's just so important to keep updated all the time.
Yeah.
So can I ask a question? So how long were you on product as a client, not as a member? How long was that for?
14 months.
All right. So can I then also ask then, in that 14 months, what were you actually buying? I'm just trying to work out whether I would have made your member. So I'm just thinking my own point of view.
Well, I was doing it really tough at that time, you know. But I was doing ultimate pack, going between an advanced and an ultimate pack, depending.
Right, so straight away,
look at
Kara's face. So straight away, you just answered my question that I was going to answer, because to say the rest of them understood this. So not a problem. Absolutely, totally, 100% agree that the first month the customer must be retail, because it teaches them, if they ever get someone else to teach how to do retail. So it's about teach to teach. That absolutely has to happen. If you were on an advanced or an ultimate pack in the first month and you wanted to do that again the next month, you would definitely need to be offered the opportunity of a membership. Absolutely, by that second month, more than likely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she
If
used to get
you
the
was-
product, drop it at the door and run, so I didn't even see her. She'd drop it at the door and run, and I'd go, oh, geez, lucky I learnt the first time. And in those days, you didn't have Zoom calls, so you had the 1-800 number, or whatever it was you had to ring. It cost me a fortune, but I listened, but still didn't know that I could be a member.
Yep. So the rest of understanding and clarify this on the call, if
Sure.
you'd have been somebody that bought just a tea from me or just a lift off, and 14 months later you were still buying a tea or lift off, I'd be quite happy to keep you at retail. Absolutely. And we've got lots of people like that, and I'm happy with that. The minute you get yourself up to at least, yes, probably a breakfast program, but a shape up, yes, if you're consistently doing that, yes, I would look at membership. But reality of it is, if you were on an Ultimate or Advanced after the second month, I would definitely, the conversation would have been had, hey, do you realise?
But
And
can I
that-
say, you're talking about the tea though, if that
Yep.
was all I'd wanted,
Yep.
it's still, I mean, I was doing it tough at the time. No
Sure.
one had the conversation saying to me, do you know what you can do later on if that's what you choose to do?
Sure.
So the importance of knowing and being able to, like,
So from Shelley's point of view, someone that has a tea, I suppose you're always having that get to know that clientele point of view, having an understanding of that person, and then trying to thread that from there. I suppose I'm just reinforcing that is because I see often too much goes, as much as you had to wait 40 months, which is nuts.
I know.
Too much the other way, where people will get somebody and they'll instantly sign them up, and then they drop over and they didn't make any money, because I know that when I sign you up, I don't make no profit out of that. And we're still, at the end of the day, we're still trying to run a business, and there's a balance line there.
Yeah.
So I think it's first month for retail,
Absolutely.
and then also saying, are they locked into the product? Are they a product lover? Are they getting great results? And if there's any issues, you may need to delay it another month, and it's okay, because it's what's best for them. It's the best thing for them as a retail client. And then they'll understand the value in it too. So you create a lot of strength in your team. It will be strong.
So if you had, I'll say it on the call, I don't care. If you had a business person, I still, as a business person, would not allow you to be a member on your first order. I would ask you to pay retail on your first order. And then I don't care, within the next hour, we sign you up as a member. But your first order is retail, because as far as I'm concerned, whether I wait 1 month or 30 seconds, I've just shot the timeline down.
And as we know, what's happening at the moment, we're generally getting people as a client first, so they're
Absolutely.
retail first month, then the upgrade happens. So that, which is fine. But again, it is personal choice on how you do
absolutely.
things. So just getting back to all the DMOs, I'm really feeling like the lucky spots with the wellness valuation is great, but like any DMO, you've got to do it consistently in enough numbers.
Yes.
So that's really the key. So consistently with enough numbers and compress that time. And you're right, flyers are hard work. We all know, especially in Gympie. We don't have the when I was in Adelaide, it was flat and square and lots of units. So I could get those flyers. I could get out 500 flyers a day easy in a couple of hours.
I love doing the hills twice a day, because I did it on my own. We went working either side of the street. I had to go down, up, and come back again.
But it's compressing that time. So if you can get a few methods and they're all ready to go. I've done some flyers, I've done some lucky spots, I've got some walk and talks done. I'm branded, I've got my signage on my car or whatever it is, and you've got all those things. I think that's great. I've got a few ideas with coaching. I was thinking one, which I haven't talked to Cara about, but I will. But with all the coaches on it and our names, numbers, and letting people know that we are the go-to people for results in Gympie, and having like some combo kind of things as well to show the strength of the team.
Well, with the flyers this morning, I actually, when I got to that hill over there, I went, do I go up, around, turn around, then come back up and come around, or do I zigzag up and down the whole street? And I went, no, I didn't in the end. I just looked at it and went, that is just too difficult. I'll just do 1 lap, turn around and come back. It would have been easy. It was easier in the end not to zigzag up and down, up and down, up and down the street.
So we've almost finished our time. Did anyone have anything they would like to add on things that have been working for them? But we'll just cap off with, did anyone have any?
No, there's not.
No. Okay. So we've obviously got next event as goal setting workshop. So I'll roll out the event for that coming up. So make sure you add people to it. I'll make sure you're all admins of the event so that you can add people as well. But keep sharing in the groups, because I don't really post a lot in groups. You can unmute if you want to, because you're all muted. So no,
Facebook groups are having issues at the moment, so you can't actually post in too many of them at once.
Okay.
So when I was doing the walking group one today, I can only get it in 2 groups today.
Okay, so even if two a day.
I don't know if it's 2 a day or it's 2 a post. So we'll just have to.
What about, is that sharing or doing?
Yeah, you
So
can't.
if you copied it and then just pasted it and then did the photo again, would that be okay?
No. So even putting up stuff that I was selling today, I'm having issues doing it.
Okay.
So it'll just be a Facebook glitch. And being that all the kids are on holidays this week,
Yeah.
Facebook for the next 6 weeks is going to be pretty shonky.
I did send you a question about the top.
Yes. Yeah, I did respond to you. It's
I haven't seen
the
it.
City Chick one. It's a plus size clothing.
Is that?
Yeah, so it's too big on me, Shelley.
Okay.
It's nice, but
you
it's
not have fashion tips on
Yeah,
the call?
sorry. I was just in chat. It's good though that we see each other, like all that interaction all helps anyway, really. Okay, finishing the call. Yep. So goal setting workshop, just promote it like crazy and cover all bases and think about who do I want at that goal setting workshop, because yes, there will be some Herbalife branding there because it is sponsored by Herbalife Nutrition and the centre. So, we want to show that, I think it's such a great opportunity for people. So attract as many people to that as possible. But in between that, we've got the competition. Make sure you're promoting that. Then Spectacular is going to come up. And again, there's probably going to be people in your space that you might not even be thinking about. They might not even be registered, that may end up being at Spectacular and you weren't expecting it. So don't close it off. Just invite and say, hey, we're going to this and I thought of you. I think it's actually going to be really awesome, or whatever, in your words, whatever you think, how to say what they might get out of it, and just ask. That's what I would do. There's no harm in asking. The worst they're going to say is no, and you've planted the seed for next year anyway. That's how I look at it. Then the next STS is in February, and we've also got the Let's Go. So that'll just keep rolling out. There's a few promotions, obviously. End of the month for this month will actually run into January.
Correct.
So you'll have a few extra days up your sleeve if you're particularly going for anything. There's the retro promotion, so keep an eye on when the actual dates are to do that volume if that's what you want to go for. Tonight, okay.
Tonight's last night.
Well, we have an STS on the 11th of January. Do you have one in January, Queensland too? Or?
No.
No, they're doing it like a few days before we go, so that's going to be interesting.
They asked that question and they made a sensible decision, and I totally agree. They made a sensible decision and not do it. It's smarter not to do an SDS in that same month, especially where the week that Spectacular sits in, because realistically it should become your STS.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're right. I think it's just happening because they're redoing the centre, but with all these fires, they've come up again. I was going to go up this weekend for the roadshow. There's no way I can get out of here, so.
And honestly, people that are going to a Spectacular, the numbers for the STS the weekend after that are generally going to be way down. So.
Well, yeah, and because some of them going on the cycling too. There's quite a few.
Yeah, we definitely want people. We want to pack out the goal setting workshop, and we want to pack out Spectacular.
Absolutely.
That's really two.
That's the main for January.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The other question with Spectacular though, don't they normally start the tickets? They book out really quickly. So have you heard anything about them shutting off yet or not?
I've had it where they've let people buy at the event.
Absolutely, and you'll find anyone that's not a member currently will be able to get a ticket right up into the last minute for sure.
Yeah.
So could I ask at the STS then, did they show you the 3 products that are definitely coming out? Did you get that? They show you that?
Yes, but it doesn't mean they're being launched available on that weekend.
No, but they told you. They told you what was coming out though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry?
You launched anywhere in 2020.
I'm sure one will come out on that weekend, but I think it'll be staggered. I'm hoping it's the coffee one, but anyway, I'll see how it goes. So I'll finish recording, then we can chat amongst ourselves, and so I can convert this and send it out so it's not too long. So give me 2 seconds to stop recording.